All right, the sun has just peaked up now, and I've got the camera all set up here. I'm gonna want to tell the story of the sun kind of coming up. It's kind of spending a day here in Joshua Tree. That's kind of the concept of the story.
And this is my world now.
My name is Alan Lacey, and I'm a wildlife filmmaker, cameraman, and producer. Adventure with me as I explore the amazing world of nature and show you what it's like filming the wild.
Well, good morning. I'm here in Joshua Tree National Park, and it was a short night last night. Just sort of crashed out on a little table, just out under the stars. Love doing that, actually. It's actually a lot of fun, just to be out in the elements, see the stars. It's beautiful. But anyways, it's time to get up and get going today. Haven't been here before, so it's pretty awesome to see all these cool Joshua trees. Looking forward to putting together a cool little video. So that's what this episode's going to be about, is kind of behind the scenes of putting together this little short film on Joshua Tree National Park. So anyways, gonna pack up my stuff and get going before the sun gets up over the hill, and make a go of it today. Didn't get any coffee this morning, so unfortunately gonna be sans coffee today, but still, it's beautiful. It's worth it. Anyways, we'll catch you guys in a little bit.
There's something about early mornings that I just absolutely love. But it takes just about everything I have to get up and get going. But it's so worth it.
All right, just found this beautiful place here in Joshua Tree. The sun is about to peak up over the mountains, so I gotta get busy. But this place is just awesome. All right, so anyways, let's get this camera rolling before the sun peaks up. All right, the sun has just peaked up now, and I've got the camera all set up here, and I am basically just sort of doing a time lapse of the sun just kind of coming up, peeking through this Joshua Tree here. It was kind of rushed, so I didn't really get a chance to really find an awesome composition, but you know, make the most of what I've got. But I'm gonna want to tell the story of the sun kind of coming up. It's kind of spending a day here in Joshua Tree. That's kind of the concept of the story. Just what I can find wildlife wise in just a day, 24 hours, basically shooting here in Joshua Tree. So yeah, we'll see what comes of it. But so far the sun's getting close to peeking through this little section here, so we'll give it a couple more minutes.
Now, if you haven't seen my latest film, it's called Among the Joshua, and it's about these incredible and amazing yucca plants here in Joshua Tree National Park. I highly recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it yet. One of the most important things to keep in mind when you are filming is to create motion in your images. Sometimes static shots are okay, but if you can slowly and smoothly pan or tilt your camera, it can help your images really come alive. But it definitely takes patience and practice to make your movements smooth and at the same speed evenly throughout each pan. Next, I was off to look for interesting landscapes to include in this short film.
All right, it's been a beautiful morning so far. So basically, I am driving to Joshua Tree National Park. It's the first time I've ever been here. This place is pretty awesome. These Joshua trees are something else, I must say. Really enjoying it. So I've been focusing on a lot of landscapes right now. and I think got a couple more landscape shots I want to get just to kind of set up the park a bit more in this story. And then I'm going to kind of switch over to the long lens, start getting some more specific shots, some close-ups of the Joshua trees, and then hopefully get some wildlife. So, but yeah, this place is pretty intense. It's going to be a hot one today too. They're saying it's going to be up over 105, 107 degrees, somewhere in that range. So, yeah, that's going to be fun.
Another important thing to keep in mind when you are filming is your story. Here I am focusing on telling the story about these iconic Joshua trees, and the landscape they create is truly impressive. So, finding unique and beautiful landscapes enhance the story about how important these yucca are. There are several ways you can do this when shooting. The traditional way is to work from a script, but obviously this time I am just going with a concept in my head and working to capture the footage needed to match that concept. So basically I'm constantly thinking about story, and then looking for the components to fit into the storyline.
Alright, now I'm in a section of Joshua Tree National Park. This is called the Cholla Gardens, and as you can see, there's cholla just everywhere. So I've going to set up the camera, get a couple little like wide shots of it. Now I'm actually going to set up the long lens and kind of punch in and get some cutaway shots of the cholla just to have some interesting contrast, so that when I have the edit I can cut to these various pieces so that it makes it a little more interesting visually. So that is what I'm up to right now. And of course, it's hot. It's already in the 90s. It's supposed to be like 105 today. And unfortunately, it also means it's good sunburn weather. So I just got to be a little careful today, because my complexion, I burn in like 30 seconds flat. So.
So here, I am using a wide-angle lens, the Sigma 24-70, to capture more of the scene and to set the location. But then, I switched lenses for a telephoto zoom lens, the Sigma 60-600, to punch in a little tighter and capture more close-up details of these cholla to add a little more interest in the visual story. Remember, keeping motion is important, but you can also add motion visually through something we call racking focus, which is changing your focal plane from something close to something farther away, like I'm doing here.
Alright, so I've been kind of all over the park filming and getting a bunch of different landscapes, and I think now I'm going to actually switch over to the long lens and get a couple cutaway shots, more close-ups of the actual Joshua trees and some of the other plants out here, just to kind of give some breaks in the storyline. And then of course if any wildlife comes in, I'll be prepared as well. So anyways, I am headed back towards a place called Keys Point. I've been told that's a pretty good area to check out, a good view and a vantage point of the entire area. So we shall give it a go.
After filming a ton of landscapes, and not really seeing very many animals or wildlife, I figured my best chance at finding any critters would be to go to an area that people frequent. which honestly kinda sucks, because that means that people are messy, and the animals know this, and it's an opportunity for easy meals. But I wanted to show desert wildlife in this film, and since I was only here for today, this would be my best opportunity.
All right, it's a little after 1 p.m. and I've been pretty much filming all day. Been getting a lot of scenics actually, and now I've been focusing a little more on the wildlife. Although now that it's more or less the middle of the day, most of the wildlife is kind of bunkered down because it's hot. It's a little over 100 degrees right now. I think it's supposed to get to like 107 today here. So I'm actually doing the same thing. I'm kind of camped out in the shade right now. Yeah, it's been a fun day. Joshua Tree is a really awesome place. If you haven't had an opportunity to get out here, definitely recommend it. It is very, very scenic, absolutely gorgeous. The rocks, the Joshua trees, just a completely different type of desert than probably what you're used to seeing. So I really do recommend getting out here and checking it out if you get the chance. But anyways, I'm getting some water, taking a break, and then back at it here in a little bit.
For this next part, as I've already shown you these animals in my latest film, Among the Joshua, I'll just let the images speak for themselves and let you enjoy the beauty of nature.